Hey everybody, it's Rob here. We have some great news coming here for Barbarian. We are finally getting a fix for the Mantle of the Mountain's Fury, allowing us to explode our earthquakes with full DPS. On top of this, there's also changes coming to the Decay power, the infinite damage exploits that happened on all the classes, thanks to the augment powers here that we had. The Decay power has now been disabled. You can't equip it at all here. Decay augmentation, you see this is like been disabled, and this is going to be enabled again next week. We have all the details here and a blue post from Past Radar Community Manager. So hello all, we have seen the reports related to some very outrageous numbers, like this was Sorg, Spiritborn, Barbarian, Necro, etc, etc, coming from a few builds / classes here. The team has some fixes underway. In the meantime, we'll be disabling Decay augmentation witch power. So many of you have asked me like why it doesn't work. Yeah, it's disabled right now, just like the other powers when they weren't working. This was the best case scenario to disable it and then fix it in peace. And this is tied to some of these issues. So since then, guys, all the leaderboards have been cleared up. We had like a 1 minute 150 clears from classes, and like we had like a ton of classes flooding the leaderboards here. 150 clears. This means players will not be able to equip the power at this time. Players can still purchase this power, but you will not receive it. So we don't recommend, we recommend against doing this until the power has been re-enabled. So don't purchase it, or don't like, you know, use it right now. You can't even equip it. If you still have it equipped, probably the best way to swap it out, because it's very important. If you're rocking the Fiend of Borg, you need 3 growth and decay power. So you definitely want to be switching this out. And for example, I recommend like taking in the frog or something until it's fixed, because this is also growth and decays, helps you with pulling. And yeah, decay just doesn't work right now. But it has been very necessary. We'll be working on a fix and bring it back to players next week. This looks to be like Tuesday, guys. We have a big event and patch coming. The team will attempt to see if we can do this via a server hotfix, but if we get this via a hotfix, then we'll look at doing a quick client patch. Additionally, we want to provide a few other updates on some class items we have been seen bubbling up at the top of conversations. Necromancer. So Necromancer have been plagued with the Ring of Mendel not working, guys. This was basically not working with various multipliers for the minion Necro build, and there is a fix for the patch on this coming as well. So finally, we can properly play the minion Necromancer, the summoner Necromancer. Blizzard actually have stated this in the past, I think it was during the Campfire stream, that Necromancer minions is the best it has ever been. We just weren't able to see this because the Ring of Mendel had some problem in the code, and it was not benefiting from various DPS multipliers. And then next here, the big one, guys, a Barbarian. We have implemented a fix for Mantle of the Mountain's Fury back during our first hotfix. This is like, you know, when the explosions here from the earthquake, from the HotA of the Hammer of the Ancients didn't do anything. Now it does something, but right now it doesn't work with various multiplier. It doesn't work with earthquake duration, etc. pp. So they had some much better results, but we have noticed that there was some confusion related to damage over time from the quakes and the explosion damage being inconsistent, aka not working, aka bugged. We do plan on addressing this, which will result in some further strength to the build. So obviously, like when they re-enable all the multipliers, and the earthquake duration will work, all calculating to the explosions, like because the explosions is already hitting for like several trillion. And once the multipliers are fixed, it's gonna do at least double, maybe like around triple the damage. So obviously the build is gonna rise a lot in power. Right now, the top Barbarian clears, they are not even using the Mantle of the Mountain's Fury because it is so bugged. Like they're not using it. They are just letting the earthquakes, you know, just basically like tick and run out. But soon, guys, we can also make use of these awesome visuals again and explode them again going forward. We're gonna be rocking this build. We're gonna have a ton of fun, I think, here on the earthquake build. This is gonna be the top build for Baron. This is definitely gonna clear 150 then. So there's been like this bleed bug build that did 150s, but now we can do it on a normal build. Right now there's 147 clear here from PXX. And after this bug fix, the build is definitely going to go all the way to 150, guys. And then Blizzard said further, we do want to know that we will be looking at this build and doing some balance tweaks at the start of next season. So they recognize that Barbarian, with this change, is going to be pretty strong. And the Earthquake build is already very strong right now, as you can see. We already blasted to Paragon 300, just doing, like, you know, basically the Whirlwind build with Earthquakes. And then now we can explode them as well for, like, trillions and trillions of damage. So they will be looking at this build. I do believe that if they say they're going to look at the Barb, they will definitely look at the Necromancer with the Blood Wave. They will also look at the Cataclysm Druid, but not during this season, guys. They specifically said they do not want to nerf this during the season. They're only doing like bug fixes, you know, for like infinite damage and all this like negative damage and all these like, you know, the stuff that are really bugs that do infinite damage. But, you know, the Necromancer, the Druid, the Cataclysm Druid, and the Barbarian, they are strong, but they are not bugged. So they are not gonna like looking to change these middle of the season, as far as I understand from this. However, they will be looking next season for season 8, probably in like 2.5 months from now. They will be looking to balance these builds because there's some obvious outliers, especially if you compare it to Spiritborn and Sorcerer. I'm still hoping that we're gonna get a mid-season update where Spiritborn and Sorcerer, you know, getting some love, maybe even sooner, because they have been benefiting or abusing the bugs the most. Like there was like a 1 minute. There was like here, Evade Spiritborn was clearing like pits in like 1 minute on 150. Like he was just basically blasting through with Evade and one-shotting everything here for like multiple thousands trillions. And the Sorcerer was also, I think, a 3-minute clear on Roxy or something with like the infinite damage stacking. These now have all been changed, so it leaves a bit of a, like, you know, a bittersweet taste for some of those classes, because now, yeah, basically Sorcerer and Spiritborn are kind of like, you know, like back in the gutter, if you will. So they have it very rough at the moment, and you guys can clearly see this by the pit leaderboards. So big kudos here to helltides.com. I'm going to link this below as well. They have already completely cleaned up the leaderboards from all the bugged and exploited clears. Like this is all the strong builds, but this is like legit clears. And you see like Druid did it normally without the infinite damage bug. Druid just did it like the normal, the old-fashioned way, if you will. And the Barbarian will do it too come Tuesday, or when this stuff will be implemented. It might be a bit after Tuesday. We'll see exactly when this is gonna be fixed, the Mantle of the Mountain Fury. Because right now, guys, and I get this question a lot, like it's not fixed yet. This is what's coming on Tuesday, or maybe even after. But it looks like around Tuesday or a bit after Tuesday. It depends. This is just a few items Blizzard is looking at, and there are many more, including game loading issues, client stabilities. We've had quite a few crashes. Other class-related items. So this might be like the balance stuff that we talked about for like maybe a Sorcerer, maybe the Spiritborn, that go beyond this list mentioned above. We appreciate the feedback. Everybody hopping into Season 7 to check out the new Witchcraft powers. We'll provide an update soon regarding this after the weekend. So, guys, right now, the power is disabled. The Mantle of the Mountain Fury is still bugged. But after the weekend, there's a big patch on Tuesday, and if not everything makes it in, the stuff is gonna be like, you know, implemented over the next days, over the next weeks. And then who knows, maybe we'll also see some minor or some, I guess we need a bit more than minor buffs to some of these classes, because it does feel a bit bad. Like, you know, they had this like crazy damage, like Sork and Spiritborn were blasting 150, and now they're like back to pit 110. It's kind of rough, but like Sorcerer already here, like legit clear 130. So it's going quite a bit. And Rogue, I think Rogue overall is the healthiest class. It doesn't have like any of these like outlier builds that are very OP or broken. It just has like quite a lot of, you know, solid builds here, like doing around 130, but nothing completely broken, nothing completely OP. We'll see where we land going forward. I'll link this post here below as well. Certainly cool to see Blizzard being so on top of things. I think deactivating the Decay Augment Witchcraft was like the best in slot outcome before people like, you know, roll their gear and like go into that, because that happened last season where people were like rolling the Spiritborn to have, you know, infinite damage with all the resolve stacks, but they spent a lot of time doing this. So now I think if the team on Blizzard can react as fast as they did, this was like a 30 hours or something, they fixed it or they disabled it. And they addressed a lot of issues in the patch notes for Tuesday. And we also have the Luna event coming. So that's really cool to see. Yeah, I hope we're gonna get to see more stuff and more balance changes here, and they continue with this trajectory. It's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I'm super excited to finally play you know, the real Barb build that I was looking forward to play when they first announced this chest, because this chest is cool AF. It just needs to work properly, and I'm super excited for that. Hope you are too, guys. There's a build planner already below for this, and it's gonna rock 150. Let's go. GG. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.